Thank you, Jacob, for that beautiful music. I know I'm not thanking you just for today, but throughout the year you have blessed us. And I know half of Halifax is here to listen to you. And thank you, Dr. Heinel and the class, for inviting me here to speak to you for a few moments. Thank you also, Dr. Heinel, for the friendship and support you have extended to Jaden and to our family. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the class of 2017 like you have never, ever seen them before. Here they are. You were destined to come to Burman. I feel like a proud parent of all of you. Some of you I have known for a long time. One of you, the best-looking one, I helped to create. Some of you have worked in my office. Some of you have traveled with me. But many of you have blessed us with your involvement here in the church. I have seen you play music, read scripture, tell the children's story, and even preach like Sierra Beulah did one time. Thank you for being an important part of our lives and fitting all of these things in between your homework, your essays, and deadlines. We truly appreciate having you join us here in this church. No matter where your journey has begun, all of your paths have led here to Burman. So today we want to celebrate you. We want to appreciate you, and we want to honor you. I want to take just a moment, Dr. Heinel, to say thank you to Burman for the opportunities that were given to me when I was a student. Believe me, you look much better when you get older. Candy also joins me in thanking PAA and Burman University for the opportunities that was given to her. But we are most grateful for the opportunities that were given to Brendan and Jaden when they attended the church school across the way, PAA, and now Jaden graduating from Burman. Thank you to all the teachers and staff who have always been there for me, and also to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada, the conferences, all of these people who invest in the lives of so many people that make an impact on this world. But another thing that, Dr. Heinel, I'm thankful for is that over 125 students have worked for me in my business. I come here to hire them because they are packed full of values. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity as well. So if you're looking for people to hire, this is where you should start. I've also traveled with over 200 students from this campus. They have inspired me to do more. Now, graduates, for the matter at hand, just a few thoughts with you. 3 words that can transform your world. Exactly 36 years ago, I walked down this aisle, and 4 doors from the front, I took my place. I thought I saw Ryan Bell, just about where he is seated. And I was confused. I was disappointed. And I didn't even know why I was here. I totally believed, without a question, that God had called me here, and there was a very specific purpose, a very specific course of studies that God had led me to do. And at that moment, I realized that it was not going to happen. In a few moments, I would walk up this stage, take the diploma, and my diploma would say one thing, but the next day, I was starting a job which had nothing to do with my diploma or my training. So very humbly, I took the diploma and sat in the place 4 rows from the front. I didn't know what to tell my friends to whom I had told that God had brought me here. I didn't know what I was going to tell my mother, who had given me $500 that she had done odd jobs and saved so that I could come to Burman. The following week, I walked across the aisle, and I sat 4 rows from the front, and I've been sitting there for 36 years. People ask me, Eric, you're still here. And I tell them, God called me here, but I haven't heard from him since. The reason I was disappointed was because of something that happened 4 months before I graduated. So come in your imagination to my classroom on the top floor of the ad building, on the 3rd floor, where Dr. Boyd has occupied my desk. My teacher, Dr. Trenchard, came to class one day, and he started lecturing, and halfway through, he stopped teaching, and he dismissed about half the class, and he asked some of us to remain. I was among the chosen to remain. And he came in front of his desk. As a matter of factly, he said, none of you remaining here will get a job as pastors in Canada. He said, there are no jobs for you. So I want to tell you that you need to go and find something else to do. Immediately, an argument broke out in class. The students arguing that God had specifically called them for a specific purpose to Burman. They had come here out to nowhere. They had uprooted their families. They had taken their children out of school. And now who is he to tell that God didn't call them and there wouldn't be a job? The argument got very, very heated. I said nothing. Not one word. I was so relieved. That God hadn't called me to do anything. I could go and do whatever I wanted to do and wouldn't have to feel guilty for the rest of my life. As the argument got heated, the teacher said to me, Dr. Trenchard, he's still a good friend of mine, probably one of my closest friends. He said to the students, come and talk to me individually. Oh boy, I said, he's going to get hurt by the end of the day. But nobody went to talk to him. But I did. He was my advisor. He had been my friend. And I knew he wouldn't say these things lightly. So I went to Dr. Trenchard after class, and I don't know exactly what we talked about. I very clearly remember this. He said, everyone is called to ministry. It may not be to the pulpit ministry, but everyone is called to serve. So sitting in that corner one day, I was thinking, what is my calling? What am I to do? What will I do to serve? What would this diploma that I got from Burman mean to my community, to my church, and to the world? Think about your role today. Some of you will become teachers and influence lots of people. Some of you will become doctors, researchers, social workers. Some of you might become plumbers and carpenters. And through your craftsmanship, you might be able to send the value of good work and quality. Some of you might stand up and say, if I pay the same school fees, get the same diploma, I should be allowed to serve this church in the highest levels of leadership and not be discriminated because I am a woman. Maybe somebody will say that. Perhaps your calling is to be a mom or a dad. You will think about that seriously. Through the investment in your children, through the energy that you invest in your children, you can impact this world. I too was thinking how I could make this world a better place. I was thinking what a world would look like without poverty, without injustice, without inequality. Thinking is important, very important. When I passed Dr. Sam Rajah on this campus, I asked him what he is doing. He says, I'm thinking. He has been saying that for 30 years. Thinking is a good place to start. but thinking alone will not do anything. You must believe that you can make a difference. Armed with this idea of thinking and believing, my friend Brian Levitt and another alumnus, we went to our church right here and made a proposal that we wanted to make this world better. And the people seemed to be with us. Then one man got up and he said, the church should not be in the business of making this world better. We have lots of other things to do. Besides, these two guys will bankrupt the church. And then everybody moved with them and said no. Then the pastor was kind enough, he called us and said, come back, but this time do one thing to your proposal. Tell the church you will not raise more than $5,000. Then they'll relax and they'll support you. Just like he said, we came back and the church approved, and for the last 27 years, they have been believing that we can actually make a difference. The experience was good to me, because you will also face that. Not everyone will believe in you. But the important lesson is not to stop at the first obstacle that you face in life. Believe that every no will bring you closer to yes. You cannot let the fear of failure, the fear of comparison, fear of judgment stop you from doing what makes you great. You cannot succeed without the risk of failure. You cannot have a voice without the risk of criticism. And you cannot love without the risk of loss. You must go out and take these risks. You must not be afraid, but don't let it stop you. People will tell you, do what makes you happy. I think you must do what is great. Then happiness will follow you. You must believe that no matter how small the difference might be, that you can make a difference. Many years ago, I was speaking at the Lacombe Upper Elementary School. I finished packing my projector, and a young lady came to me and gave me a folded envelope. I took it home, and I opened it. There was $40 inside there. There was a note saying, my name is Becca Epp. I won this $40 in a lip sync contest, and I believe this can make a difference. There was a note there that said, I play the violin in the Rosedale Valley Strings. Few years later, I met her up at the farmer's market. There she was playing the violin, the case open, and a sign that said, all the money that goes into this case will go to make this world better. I was with her. Last week, Becca called me and asked me to come to her classroom. She was doing student teaching. And she had inspired her students to raise $500 to buy books for children who may not be able to afford books. But Rosedale Valley Strings that she started playing in with that $40, as of last night, I was at their concert, had raised $140,000. Burman students are not trained just to carry diplomas. They are trained to carry values that impacts this world, and they inspire other people to do the same. You have chosen an aim. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. You're already practicing your aim. Becca is not the only one. I don't have time to show all of your names, but here are some of your names and all the different things that this class of 2017 is already doing, living Mother Teresa's aim. Sometimes it's just a moment in time that your passion needs to be ignited. You may not see that today, and I needed that passion to be ignited as well. On one of my trips, I saw this. I saw some girls, because of disabilities, crawling to school like this. Crawling, 16, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids. And all I could think of in my life was there's nothing more I wanted to do than to improve the lives of these children. It is sometimes a moment that will turn you around and say, I can do this. Thinking and believing won't do anything, nothing. One must act. This university has so beautifully put it in their mission. Think, believe, act. Thinking and believing has no credibility in this world unless you are willing to apply that thinking and believing. Sometimes Christians are called believers. I think people think that's all we do is believe, so they call us believers. People ask me, am I a believer? I tell them, no, I am a doer. And they ask me, what religion is that? So it's important to find whatever that faith and belief is, that you will actually turn those thinking and belief into action. Most of you can think about a need in the world. Most of you believe that you can do something. But sometimes you just don't know how to get started. I want to take you to the class of 2010 from Burman. A young lady came to me one day and she said, several months before graduation, Azalea Lendorf, she said to me, I want to build classrooms in Afghanistan. I hear that you have been going there every year for the past 6 years. I like to be part of it. And I asked her why she wanted to do this. And she said that when she was a young girl, her parents had told her there was no value in educating girls. So she had run away from home and eventually made her way to Burman. Then at Burman, she had received a gift certificate to buy a book. She read the book, and she saw the girls in Afghanistan in the same situation that she was in: lack of education, lack of classrooms. She believed that something could be done. And then she came to me and she said, I want to go to Afghanistan. That's when I got scared. I went to Pastor Ron. I said, Pastor Ron, he was the chair of our board. I said, what am I going to do? He looked at me and he said, Eric, your job is to remove all the barriers that young people face to fulfill their dream. If there are old people here sitting, there are many of you, you need to think about how you can remove those barriers so that young people can fulfill that dream. So she came. I rounded up 2 bodyguards, Keith Levitt and Howard Smith, and the day after the graduation, we flew to Afghanistan. There we saw scenes like this: classrooms. Most of Afghanistan children go to school like this, in torn tents. And we believed that we can make a difference. We came back, and Azalea got started. Next month, when we opened the groundbreaking for the 8th school, Azalea would have raised $1 million, and 14 to 16,000 students will benefit from her efforts. In a span of 7 years, Azalea has got a Master's of Public Health from the University of Alberta. She'll graduate as a medical student, a doctor, next year from University of Calgary. She received the Canadian Medical Association Award from all of the medical students that were nominated as the Student Leader of the Year in a span of 7 years, because she thought, she believed, and she decided to act on it. She lived in Kenya and Afghanistan, Iraq during these 7 years as well. She's here somewhere, and you may want to talk to her what it means to start small. Act with compassion and courage. So what happened to the $5,000 that we raised? That we were asked not to raise any more than that? At the end of last year, we had raised $30 million and helped thousands of people in over 15 countries. What can you do? Some of you are not ready. Your path is going to be long. Some of you are ready because you have talked to me. After you leave this university, you're not alone. We are with you. I'm with you, the faculty, the church leaders, we are all with you. Never get disconnected from Burman University. We believe in you. That's why some of my friends and I have put together $10,000 for your class to access. If you have an idea that will make your community better and this world better, you can access that $10,000 anytime you want. It can be groups. It can be groups of students. It can be individuals. All the details are inside your diploma. Thank you, Larry, for letting me put that card in. It explains to you how you can access that. Our final stop today is in India. Come with me in your imagination to Calcutta. On a busy street, very busy street, there's a small sign that will lead you to the home of Mother Teresa. I was there with my friends, Elder Dan Jackson and Ray Loxdale. Every morning, the sisters come out to the tomb of Mother Teresa, and they decorate her tomb with flowers. And the sisters take the petals, and they make a sign, a drawing of her favorite sayings. The day that we were there, the sisters had taken the flowers and written one of Mother Teresa's words, which is love until it hurts. But permanently etched on the side of it, on the foot of her tomb, you might not be able to read this, is your aim. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Mother Teresa thought about her role in this world. She believed that however small it is, she can make a difference. Most importantly, she acted on those thinking and belief. 3 words that can transform your life and your world: think, believe, act. Congratulations and all the best to you.